Join us at the Pahrump Nugget Hotel and Casino with the #1 gaming experience and entertainment. The Pahrump Nugget has the #1 dining experience at Stockman Steakhouse, Golden Harvest Cafe, and the Gold Miners Buffet. Come get your game on at the Pahrump Nugget Hotel and Casino.
Today's news is brought to you in part by Dr. George Leeks, Pahrump's optometrist since 1990, offering full-spectrum eye care for children and adults. Call today, 727-8300.
Welcome back to News 46. A service was held Saturday at Gigi Sweet's Veterans Memorial Park.
Captain Sweet's representative, Major Chaput, he actually invited us to have some ceremonies and so forth out here. It's such a beautiful park that we decided to request to have our business meetings here monthly on the second Saturday of the month, and it was agreed to, and this was our first meeting today. This is the second flag ceremony we've had in the last 6 months. The previous one in December was for a veteran's widow, the mother of a veteran who had a son serving the United States Air Force. We gave the flag ceremony for her. Very touching ceremony.
So this is going to be the home of the Marine Corps League detachment then. So for ceremonies, for their meetings, and tell me what you think about what Gigi would think about that.
Well, I think he'd be very happy because it was, Major Chaput was very concerned that this would be the end of it here, and the park would fade out in Pahrump. And this is probably the nicest park in Nevada for its purpose. And so we tend to rejuvenate and bring as much of the public out here as possible.
Yes, that's a great honor to have gone through that. Major Chaput is instrumental, on the acquiring of the control of the park, and now that the Marine Corps League is going to be here as a permanent home, it's going to be an additional task to help in taking care of the park and holding our meetings here and having our functions here. This is going to be great.
Yeah, well, I mentioned about a Silver Star that he never really wanted us to know that he received it with our unit. And, of course, I was right alongside him in that same tank.
Yeah.
And I think he was such a humble person that he knew that the award really was for all of us in the platoon. And so his way of paying it back was to build this park and put up the monuments and somehow thank them for their service.
Property here at the corner of Game Bird and Money Street has been put in a trust to be maintained, which is what Gigi Sweet wanted to happen. The Veterans Memorial Park here will be used now for the U.S. Marine Corps Detachment League 1199 to use for services as well as their monthly meetings. And of course, they'll be having those Memorial Day and Veterans Day services here too as well, and we will keep you updated when those occur. This is Deanna O'Donnell at Gigi Sweet's Veterans Memorial Park for News 46.
Saida Trudeau, Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, and Ram presented Rosemary Clark Middle School Principal Tim Wambaker with a check for $1,500 this morning.
On behalf of Saida Trudeau, we'd like to present this check of $1,500 to the Rosemary Clark Middle School for the Drive for the Kids program.
We just presented Rosemary Clark with the check for the Drive for the Kids program, sponsored through Chrysler, where we do mini test drives at the parent-teacher conferences that happened in November. And each test drive earned $10 for the school. And then Saida Trudeau also pitched in some money to up the ante a little bit and give a nice check for the school.
And you are the recipient. What does this money go to?
The money goes towards the student activity account, and Saida Trudeau has always been very supportive of everything in the community, and we've been doing this Drive for Kids either through Mount Charleston, through Rosemary Clark, basically through many of the schools in Nye County and Pahrump for the past 10 years with Saida Trudeau. So always a great turnout and always very great support for the schools.
You know, it's mutually beneficial. When we go down there and do the Drive for the Kids, people get exposed to our cars, which hopefully makes them consider our cars when the time comes to make a purchase. When we go to these events, they're not selling events. There's no pressure. You get in the car, you drive it for a mile, but maybe you see some of the new features that your car doesn't have. You get that new car smell, and then a year later when you're ready, you come see us hopefully.
What kind of deals do you guys have coming up here outside of Trudeau, Chrysler, Jeep, and Dodge, or are those every single day?
Well, there's always something on sale. You know, it's like going to the grocery store. There's always something on sale. So you, hopefully you can match it to what your needs are when you come in. You know, we have rebates. We still have a few of last year's models that we're trying to get rid of. Those are exceptional buys right now. There's just a couple left, but, you know, we practically give them away to get rid of them. So.
And some new models that you might want to have us keep our eyes open for.
You know, the Cherokee's probably the hot one. That new Cherokee that's out is a really great seller for us. It's turning a lot of heads. It's getting a ton of press. So that's probably the hot car right now.
One man died as a result of a gunshot wound after an argument over a cell phone conversation at a movie theater this afternoon in Wesley Chapel, Florida. The victim and a woman who was also shot were sitting in a row in front of another couple. There was an altercation because the victim was using his cell phone. He was texting. He was making a lot of noise. This led to a verbal altercation. The verbal altercation escalated. The suspect pulled out a handgun and shot the man and the woman, who has a non-life-threatening injury, with him. The man who was said to have been texting his daughter when he was shot.
Amazing. Well, let's now go to your first business brief with Angela Miles.
This is the first business brief for Monday, January the 13th. I'm Angela Miles. Consumers are not so quick to part with their money. Bankrate.com reports during the holidays, the number of Americans spending less increased to 26%. Only 14% spent more, and those spending what they expected, 57%. Americans earning $75,000 or more tended to spend more rather than less. Two major retail chains have a huge holiday hangover. JCPenney stock is down roughly 20% since the start of the year. The retailer failed to disclose details about its holiday sales numbers, while Sears has dropped to its lowest level in 2 years on sluggish sales, which fell 9%. As temps dip to record lows across the country, investors are seeking stocks they hope will warm their portfolios. Rock salt maker Compass Minerals, pharmaceuticals company J&J, and generator manufacturer Generac are among the names. That's the first business brief. I'm Angela Miles.
That story about the man dying from a gunshot wound because he was texting. That's crazy. It just shows how volatile
people can be.
People are these days with the amount of stress in this world and social media.
Way beyond road rage, I'll tell you.
It has.
Anyways, this weather that we've been having has been absolutely amazing. It's been very hard to stay in my office and keep working at the computer when I just want to be outside. And I'm sure a lot of you feel the same way. But I guess when we come back from break, we'll find out if it's going to stay like this or what we have in store with Noah Began.
News 46 weather is brought to you by your local dairy farmers. Dairy products are very important in maintaining a healthy body.
Hello and welcome back to News 46. Today is Monday, January 13th. Today we had sunny skies with a high of 63 degrees, an average temperature around this time of year of 58 degrees. Winds were coming from the northeast at 6 miles per hour with gusts up to 14 miles per hour. The UV index today was 3, which is moderate. Humidity was at 20%. Sunrise is at 6:55 this morning, and the record high in 1945 was 73 degrees. Tonight we'll have clear skies with a low of 32 degrees, an average temperature around this time of year of 39 degrees. Winds will be coming from the north-northeast at 6 miles per hour with gusts up to 9 miles per hour. Humidity will be at 42%. Sunset was at 4:51 p.m., and the record low in 1963 was 8 degrees. Tomorrow we'll have sunny skies with a high of 68 degrees and a low of 34 degrees. Winds will be coming from the northeast at 6 miles per hour with gusts up to 10 miles per hour. Humidity will be at 22%. Sunrise will be at 6:55 a.m., and the UV index will be 3, which is moderate. For our 7-day forecast, we have a mostly sunny week with some clouds rolling in on Friday and sticking around for the weekend. Your high temperatures will stay in the high 60s, and your low temperatures will be ranging from the low 30s to the low 40s.
I can't believe it's been that humid. It doesn't feel that humid.
No, it doesn't.
It feels much
really.
drier. Well, everyone, that does it for this edition of News 46. I'm Rhonda Van Winkle.
And I'm Jason Koblenz.
From all of us here up on the Hill, we wish you a great evening. We'll see you here again tomorrow night. And until then, good night, Pahrump.
Good night.